All right, we're live here. What do you mean? What do I mean? we're live. We're waiting on our third.
Yeah, where is he?
I don't know. I can't play any music until I hear Barrett. You know, until I see his face.
There's always some sort of hitch with this show. Either somebody can't show up at the start, or somebody's leaving early, or somebody can't log in. There's always some issue.
Yes.
Why is that?
I refused, real quick. I refused to see that movie Hitch, despite it having my guy Kevin James.
Your guy. That's your dude. Whenever I see him, I think of you.
No.
Even if it's Hitch or if it's King of Queens, it doesn't matter. So you by proxy take ownership of Hitch.
No, I can't. Yeah. I refuse. Just know that I did not watch. I would never watch.
When he's trying to dance.
No.
In there, remember that scene?
No, I didn't watch the movie.
Well, I didn't either, but I just saw that scene.
Oh, okay.
Where Will Smith, I think, is trying to teach him to dance, right?
Yeah. There's, I think, some of that in there. Again,
I mean, you got to bust that move out at the next wedding that you attend, in honor of your boy.
No, I can't. I don't even know if I'd be invited to a wedding based on that. If they know that there's a threat of it happening there,
right.
That might be good. Maybe I'll put it out there for people.
Yeah.
No, hey.
I love not being invited to weddings.
No, not at all. Now, what are we waiting on today? News related as far as what's happening with this football team, because we'll have practice walkthrough, and then I mean, is there anybody that we're truly waiting on health wise that won't play? Everybody better play. They barely played.
Yeah, they didn't play in August.
Right.
They better start playing in September, because I got news for them. These count.
Yeah, I mean, and putting out Andre Dillard at this point at the left tackle position would be malpractice to the quarterback, right?
Yeah, that's not going to happen. It's going to be Jordan Mailata. But I thought you were going to start. I know it is a big football week, but did you see the tweet from Vin the Insider this morning?
This morning or yesterday?
Well, was it yesterday? Because I saw it this morning.
About the Raptors and passing.
Yes.
Siakam. Is that it? Is that
in exchange for Ben Simmons? He has it per a source that they are in deep negotiations in a trade that would send Ben Simmons north of the border for Pascal Siakam.
Now, is this like Vin the Insider, like Megan the Stallion? Are there a couple of E's on there?
I think there might be 2 E's on there.
Okay.
Yeah, I think let me pull it up.
Let me check. I'm just saying, because then I think, look, now Vin has called a couple of things.
I know.
To his Twitter account, but I quoted that tweet yesterday and was met with a ton of heat.
Oh, really?
Why?
You were getting heat on social media, like the female tennis players are getting, allegedly. Yeah, Vin the Insider. It's 2 E's.
Okay, like Megan.
At Vin Fosh. Per source, Raptors and 76ers are in advanced negotiations. And not just negotiations. No. These are advanced negotiations on a trade that would send Simmons to Toronto and Siakam to Philadelphia. What would you think about that?
Well, look, it would tell me that Daryl Morey never, ever had a chance, which I believe from the jump, at both Bradley Beal and Damian Lillard. It would tell me that there was just no shot. And again, for whatever reason, multiple of reasons, it's fine. But that was never a realistic shot. So then where do you go? Do you look back and say, should he have traded Ben Simmons in some sort of package for Kyle Lowry, who may not even been here at the end of the year? Or is it just getting back? I wouldn't even say 60 cents on the dollar, as I see on the chat, Harry. I think you're getting somewhere around 70 cents, some odd on the dollar. It's not terrible. I think where fans are going to be really upset is that they're not going to get anything more back, like a first round pick,
right?
Something along those lines.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know how much value there is in that.
Does it tell you also that first round pick and Brogdon was not a reality?
Yes. Which, again, I know that people on Twitter were upset because they have some sort of connection with strangers who allegedly, who are out there doing stuff to those who are actually breaking news, and people were mad at what I put out there. But I talked to a couple of people. Look, we had Jay Michael on the show a bunch. He's out in Indy no longer. He's back in Orlando. And there were plenty of people who would say, yeah, if you want me to come on the record, that's fine. But I heard this conversation was a quick, hey, are you interested? No, that's not. Hang the phone up.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't think that was ever a swap. Right. It tells you that Pascal Siakam is the best that Daryl Morey can get back. And I don't think he sacrificed a better deal to ship Simmons to Toronto. Now, again, this is predicated on this being true.
Right.
So I don't know at that point.
I mean, how would Siakam mesh with Tobias Harris?
I think you can move Siakam around a little bit.
Yeah.
And, I think that he's developed a little bit of this mid-range game. And from that standpoint, begins to open up. Like, he's not plodding down next to Joel Embiid forever down there. Like, he can stretch a little bit. And if you're creative now, you can run lineups with Harris and Siakam and Embiid.
Mm-hmm.
And basically have Siakam as, now minus his ability to pass, you're basically sacrificing Siakam's ability to pass with Ben Simmons' inability to score, and you're getting what Simmons should be at the 4.
Right.
Like, if Simmons were a scorer, this is what ideally Siakam should be at the 4.
Right. And does this also tell you that Tyrese Maxey is now the point guard?
Well, yeah, Simmons gets traded. Absolutely. Yeah. He's the point guard. No, look, that may not be a 40-minute per night job.
Right.
But he'll start, I think, or unless they bring in somebody, to come off the bench. What's up,
well,
Barrett?
Look who we got here.
What's up, fellas? The computer was just on the freaking fritz. Fritz.
Yeah, I just got a text here. The effing computer is on the fritz, and he has a picture of it where the screen saying cleaning up 0% complete, but don't turn off your computer.
Right. So I'm like, what? So I'm still trying to turn it off and everything. What the heck is going on?
Just turn it off at that point. What's the worst that could happen?
I was trying to do that, but it wouldn't do it.
You didn't hold it down for like 10
I held it down for like 20
Control Alt Delete, Barrett.
Yeah. I mean, at some point, just pull the damn plug, right?
I mean, my God. Hard reset.
That's what I was trying to do, man. It just wouldn't do anything. I was like, what is going on?
Unplug it and then plug it back in 15 seconds later.
Right.
That's the solution to everything. I once stayed on hold with an Xfinity person. I don't know who they were. And that was the information that they gave me to reset my box like 10 years ago.
Well, just
unplug it and plug it back in. That was their answer. I'm like, seriously? I called an 800 number and sat on hold for 20 minutes for this?
Did it work?
It worked. I've never called again.
Really?
Well, I hope the Eagles. I hope the Eagles and the Sixers can just unplug and plug back in there.
Yeah.
Well, easier said than done, I think, with Harry's Comcast box.
I don't know that the Eagles plugged in at all yet. They better plug in on Sunday.
What's happening here?
Yeah.
What a boring start to the season. It's all on the head coach, man. I see these Rob Monty think pieces coming out here.
Well, we're going to have Rob on the show today.
Oh, yeah?
That's 12:30.
Okay.
Ask him about these think pieces coming out with Nick Sirianni and how refreshing he is and all that. Man, they built Chip Kelly up after one game. They put his ass in Canton after that Monday night game
against the Redskins. Yes.
And, you couldn't say anything about it. You couldn't just say, hey, give me a breather. Just let me get a couple of minutes here and see what this guy's about. It was just, oh, look. And already, I mean, look, here's the thing. This has always been the problem for me, fellas, is that if we're talking about a coach first over a player, as far as us being excited about a team, that's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Because the coach doesn't play.
Never. And any sport, like I don't care if it's Joe Girardi or Nick Sirianni or anybody else in between, even Jim Curtin or Jay Wright, two guys who we should be talking about representing their clubs. Maybe Jay Wright. That can be the exception. But other than that, I mean, but to be fair, like guys are gone in 2-3 years anyway. But I'm just saying that's it. Just seems like there is so much buildup of this Sirianni guy. He hasn't called a play yet.
I know.
Game.
I know.
Not a real game.
No.
Thank you. I stand corrected.
I don't even know if they were really calling plays in those preseason games.
Right.
Either.
Exactly. Just throwing darts at a dartboard.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there lies the problem, man. You just don't know. I never went into a season with so much uncertainty.
I know.
Never. I mean, even with Chip Kelly's speed. 20 seconds off the clock. He's ran 3 plays already.
Right. Yeah,
So
at least you kind of knew what to expect with
Exactly.
him.
And you had guys on the team. Like we had Shady, we had Deshaun, we had guys on that squad. Vic.
Right. Yep.
Squad.
Like, we don't know anything about these guys, and it's almost like Sirianni is this shield heading into this year.
Only thing I do know that there's $34 million that's on the cap for a guy that's not here. That's what I do know. There's $34 million that's not doing anything for this cap, and they're playing with that much of a deficit. That's what I do know.
Yep.
Which handicaps this team. We could have 5 players for $34 million.
Yet you're still at 9 wins.
Right.
Or has that changed over the weekend?
No.
Has that changed?
No, it hasn't changed. It hasn't gotten better, but it hasn't changed. At least we're going into this season relatively healthy. And that's huge, man. That's huge going into this season healthy. The starting offensive line will be there. Everybody be there and accounted for
the first week. We should play O-line roulette.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Week by week.
Who's the first guy that goes down this week?
I can't do that, man. I can't do that.
Why?
It's my guys.
People were doing it back with you. They just
I know.
didn't have a betting app to do it on. That's it.
This is tough, man. It's tough. But I will say this. I'm still going to give the kid a chance.
Well, yeah.
I'm backing him. I think he's going to be okay. No, it's not I think. I know he's going to be okay.
So you're talking about Hurts.
Jalen Hurts, yeah.
Right.
This is the beginning of the game is not where I think he's going to be the most resourceful, the most useful. I think he's more useful and resourceful at the end of games, like if it's close. He will do what it takes to win. So I'm good with that, man.
Well, what does that really mean? Well, he's just going to take the ball and run?
He's going to find a way to win. That's what he's done his entire career.
Yeah, because he's always been on teams that had more talent than anybody else. I mean, Alabama's got the most talent. Oklahoma had arguably the top 3 or 4 talent in the country.
Hey, Harris, stop, man.
It's all even at the NFL level. And you just talked about a $34 million deficit that applies to nobody.
Nobody, man. I was just thinking about that the other day, man, which why I'm thinking about it now. $34 million off the cap that's unaccounted for. Well, it's accounted for somewhere else, but not in this locker room.
Give me Jalen Hurts and the 5 players that total $34 million and put it in the fourth quarter, and maybe you got something.
Imagine the weapons we could have for $34 million. Man.
I know.
Because
we're already making Quez Watkins, out to be John
Julio
Taylor.
Jones,
Julio Jones, Jerry Rice.
It's insane, man. I saw him yesterday. I was on a best ball draft for Underdog, and I'm rolling through, and I'm in the back end of the draft. I think I'm like the 3rd to last round in a 12-team best ball draft. And Quez Watkins was ranked ahead, like ADP means average draft position. People were drafting Quez Watkins ahead of guys like Latavius Murray, who, from a fantasy standpoint, is like the best backup you can find, because even when Kamara is cooking, they still work Murray in there.
Right.
And
they have to.
Yeah, and here comes Watkins off that one screen pass, who has been elevated into like, oh, yeah, I could see him being like a legit wide receiver 3 or something like that, man. This is what happens when you don't have enough ones out there, is you start overthinking everything in the preseason. Everything.
Well, he is a 1, though.
Yeah, he's a 1 now.
And he is a 1.
Well, he's not a start. He's not the number 1 wide receiver.
No, but he's in the top 3 group. Wouldn't he say? Isn't he?
No.
Yeah, I think so.
You don't think so?
He'll start.
Oh.
He'll be in that starting lineup.
No way he'll start. I'll bet you $100 he's not in the starting lineup on Sunday.
You don't think it would be Devontae Smith, Rager, and then Watkins?
No, I think that you're going to see more of an Ertz.
J-Jaw?
No, I don't think you're going to see many 3 wide receiver sets.
You know what? I beg to differ. If you're not going to see many 3 receivers, I don't think it'll be 2 tight ends. I think it'll be more so 2 running backs. He wants to be, this coach wants to be dynamic. He wants to, go out there with the best personnel packages. So I can see that. Speaking of sleepers, man, I was watching NFL Network, all weekend, and they were talking about sleepers in in these fantasy football. And right now, the biggest sleeper out there right now is Zach Ertz.
Yeah,
Zach Ertz is the biggest sleeper.
He
had a terrible quarterback. Terrible quarterback. It's not like his skills diminished. He can still play. It's just he didn't have anybody to throw to him.
Well,
now he'll have somebody to throw to him.
And you also have, think about it, Dallas Goedert is their clear-cut number one tight end, right?
Yes.
Yep.
So look at this matchup against Atlanta. Atlanta is awful defending the tight end position. So it's not just one guy who's going to take advantage of it. Like if the best defender against that tight end position for Atlanta can't do anything to slow down Dallas Goedert, guess who else is going to be open?
Yeah,
Zach Ertz all day. And look, it works to that point. If Goddard gets locked down, let's say they're putting a double, which I can't imagine, like a high-low or some sort of combo on Goddard to negate him. Zach Ertz now has what, the third or fourth best defender on him?
Well, yep, exactly.
He's never had that matchup before in his career.
No, he's always been the premier guy. You know, everybody wanted to double him, bracket him.
That's interesting. ESPN has Quez Watkins in the first string, third wide receiver, but our lads has Greg Ward.
Yeah. Well, who are you going to go with? Are you going to go with Dan Shanka? Or are you going to go with some knucklehead at ESPN?
I can't stand ESPN.
All right.
Our lads, it is.
I mean, that's like going against Phil Steele in the college world.
Exactly.
Well, he'll I think
don't get me wrong.
I think he's going to play a lot.
How many
Greg Ward.
Do you think he'll play?
I mean, he'll get probably half the snap. He'll play more than we're giving him credit for. I believe that wholeheartedly.
Watkins, he means, right?
Or Ward.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ward will play. Ward will play more than Watkins. Put it like that.
Wow.
Guaranteed.
See? Now you're on in my line of thinking here.
Do we need to put up a poll?
I think so. Right. We can put a poll up here on the show.
Who gets more snaps?
Ward will get more
Ward
snaps.
or Watkins? 610.
Yeah.
Right.
Killed 2 hours on the phone. This Watkins guy, I never heard of him before that screen pass. And then we cut that phone call up and then we replay it in the second hour. What do you think about Rich from South Philly who said this?
Are people really down on Watkins?
One guy called him Kez.
Right.
Like that's the tell. You don't
right.
Know what he's talking about. Kez
Kez
Watkins. I had those Kez when I was a kid. They used to light up.
I love that Kez.
I tell you, man. That is exactly it. But,
well, I think the way I think so far, I think Greg Ward will get the major part of the reps simply because he does more as far as creating separation. He understands how to get open. You know, if he's the slowest of the bunch, but yet he'll still be the guy that gets more open more than anybody else. But he played the quarterback position. He knows where he's supposed to be at, and he plays to that strength. You know, he makes sure that he gets open. So Greg will get a lot of reps. I really think they still think J-Jaw is going to be a good player for him. So he's going to sneak in a couple reps also. Quez will be out there on third down, just streaking down the field. He may not catch it when he gets down there, but he's going to be open, deep. He's just got to complete it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Seal the deal.
Well, here's the best thing that works in favor for the Philadelphia Eagles. Two things. One, the Atlanta defensive line is not fantastic.
Yeah, Atlanta stinks.
Their defense is not great. But at the same time, they also have a very prolific offense where we don't know what the Eagles are packing, right? Like the Eagles could walk into a shootout and they're going up against a bunch of guys with like AKs, like da-da-da-da. The Eagles could pull out a pea shooter, or the Eagles could pull out like their own version of an assault.
A Gatling gun.
Exactly. Yeah, something more emphatic than that.
Or like the thing, what was the thing he had in the trunk for Breaking Bad? Was that a Gatling kind of like a Gatling gun?
And the finale when they pulled the thing out? Yeah.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, that's what it was, right? So exactly, it would be like pulling a Gatling. Like we don't know. They could be pulling a putty knife out against this offense on Sunday, or they could pull a Gatling gun out and just keep up with the Falcons offense. We don't know on that end, but The fact that the Falcons can't D the tight end, who should be one, if not the best receiver here, consistently at least, in Goddard and Ertz, and also that they have zero pass rush, that should help, especially because we know now that Jalen Hurts likes to hold on to that football.
Well, you're right about that, but I'm just looking at, Dallas's offense.
Dallas?
I mean, not Dallas, but I'm sorry, Atlanta's offense. They got their first round pick, and he's going to be a force.
Pitts. Yeah.
Kyle Pitts will be a force.
Yeah.
But I don't think Kyle gets a lot of reps either. He
is a rookie playing in his first ever game.
Right. This is his first ever game.
Again, let's not get crazy. Right. I think the guy's, going to be an absolute beast, but that doesn't mean it starts day one.
So he has a lot of learning to do. Calvin Ridley, we know. Can we stop him? Well, I'm feeling more confident about us stopping him now with the DBs that we have, with the two starting cornerbacks.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I don't see anybody else, kind of ripping it up.
Well, don't sleep on Russell Gage, man. That dude has been waiting to burst. With Julio and Ridley ahead of him. I'm huge on Gage this year.
As a fantasy component?
No, I'm saying in real life. It doesn't work. Wide receiver's great because wide receiver is one of the few that transfer. Like, you can have a really shitty day as a quarterback and still have a lot of fantasy numbers. You ain't getting points unless you're grabbing balls and scoring. I just think Russell Gage is going to be based off of volume alone in that second spot, kind of what Ridley was for a while with Jones there. You also have Kyle Pitts. Hey, this kid Singleton's going to have his hands full. Mike Davis. Right?
You on fire right now.
Wow.
Hayden Hurst is pretty good tight end also. So, what are you going to run? 11 personnel or 12 personnel?
I think they're
pick your poison.
I think you're going to see a lot of Mike Davis.
Well, for what it's worth, Jimmy Kempski has Atlanta as the 14th team in the NFC.
Where are the
That's way down in the hierarchy.
Well, yeah.
The Eagles, he's got the Eagles at number 12, ahead of the Giants, the Falcons, and the Panthers, and of course the Lions.
Right. Lions may not win a game.
Yeah. Your boy up there, he might not be long for this world.
Right. I hate to do it to him and Deuce.
Some guys are going to be in for a rude awakening.
I'm anxious to see this defense go out there. You're talking about, who are they going to have at the Sam linebacker position? That's I'm anxious to see what's going on there.
Avery, right?
Yeah, Jannard Avery. But is he that guy? I want to see how they really use him. How are they going to stop the run? Are they going to have a bare front end where they cover both guards in the center? That puts him on the end of the line of scrimmage as a rush in / multi-purpose guy. He'll be great in that type of role. But when you ask him to cover, he might have to cover a Kyle Pitts or somebody like that. I don't know where he is with that. But then, you got Eric Wilson. Eric Wilson today is, top tier linebacker. He had over 120 tackles last year. So as you go forward, him and Alex Single, that could be a pretty good duo. But who's going to is Rodney McLeod? Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? Where is he going to be? When is he going to play? That means you have Kayvon Wallace and Marcus Epps at the safety position. Who do they put in the box? Who do they put deep? Now, Anthony Harris has been great deep. He's a guy that you can put deep. But, that guy up underneath has got to be a physical guy. He's got to be able to go up there and tackle. They run cover 3, the man free. He's got to be able to go out there and get those running backs out of the backfield, those tight ends. Can he cover those guys? And if they put 11 personnel, he has to go in and play on the slot, play a receiver on the slot. It just might be Calvin Ridley in the slot. So there's a lot of, what ifs. But I like their chances. I like their matchups. Kerrigan's going to be back.
Yeah, Kerrigan is definitely going to be an impact on D, and we'll see just how they can get to Matt Ryan. But Ryan's going to get the ball out fast.
Yeah, he better. He's 36 years old. You realize that?
I cannot believe that, man.
Yeah.
I cannot believe it. I was just listening on the NFL Network today. I cannot believe that this is the 22nd year of Tom Terrific. 22 years in the NFL, bro.
That's incredible. Yeah.
I've been retired for
coming
15.
off a Super Bowl win.
Right.
Okay. Usually, if you're talking about somebody who's been in the league 22 years, it's some kicker.
You're right. That's what I'm saying.
Right?
It's somebody that's
playing for his 9th team.
You know what's crazy too is that they played deeper than anybody else outside of Kansas City, who lost a bunch of guys anyway and was never in that football game.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to come out Thursday night and beat the utter shit out of the Dallas Cowboys, mainly because Dallas, like, think about it. The Tampa Bay Bucks already are a legit stone defense up front, right? Really difficult to run against.
Ndamukong Suh, you know, they got a squad.
Great linebackers.
Zach Martin, no Lyle Collins, most likely.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Dak Prescott. Oh, everybody's talking about Dak's going to throw 50, 60 times.
He might want to wait till week 2.
No, Zach Martin is out.
That's the thing. Martin is out.
Right.
Collins looks to be out as well. That's 2/5 of your line right there. Not up against one of the best, if not the best, rush defenses.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? Ezekiel Elliott's going to get pounded. Dak Prescott's going to be on his back. This is going to be
JPP, Shaq Barrett, just killing them.
And those linebackers.
Cowboys may not put up more than 10 points or so.
Yeah.
It's going to be frustrating.
I sense a wager that has already been placed.
Well, I placed this day one. I went under 51.5 when the schedule first came out.
Right. I remember that. But did you also take Tampa Bay now and since then? No,
because it moved already. It's at 8.5 last I checked. It's at 8 right now. So this thing already moved. It opened up at 7.5. Who knows how much it is? And look, I don't trust how much they played last year and how recent it is. They could be a little sloppy. I don't trust the spread. That's 8 points, man. You know, that's 8 points in the NFL. What I feel most comfortable about is going under 51.5. Now, it did move to 52. But still,
that's okay.
I'm fine there.
I'm even better there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look, you're still moving away from that 51, and I got under that 51 with 51.5. So, no, I feel really good about that one specifically. Last night was an easy one. We pounded that first half under, pounded that under for the game. Lane Kiffin was out. Louisville looked like dog shit. It was just a matter of
how about those ugly uniforms they had on?
The color rush.
Oh, that was terrible.
Color rush.
I was really kind of disappointed with the whole college football weekend because I as you know, I was really amped up.
Oh, hold on a second.
It didn't really deliver.
This is what happens. You know, when we're off Sports Map now, we just keep talking straight.
Right. And you curse.
Yeah. Well,
you're enjoying the cursing.
I am. I'm having fun here until YouTube pulls it. All right. So we're back in 3. You're watching the middle here on the JAKIB Media YouTube page. Make sure you leave us a like if you haven't already. You subscribe to the channel. That helps us out exponentially. We're live and local from the Fritz and B and Cooley Law Studios. If you know someone who suffered a personal injury, then contact Brian Fritz directly here. And we want to make sure that you know that the middle is sponsored by Pure Bull Beef Jerky. And get yours now. Go to steersnacks.com.
Hey, Eagles fans, if you're a subscriber to the JAKIB Media YouTube channel, you are already registered to win a pair of season tickets for the upcoming season. That's right. You could win a pair of season tickets for the upcoming 2021 season just for being a subscriber. If you're watching and you're not a subscriber, do it now. Subscribe to the JAKIB Media YouTube channel right now. What do you need to do? Subscribe right now.
As a hardworking American, you've never experienced how tough life can be until now. A catastrophic injury while working on the job. A personal injury from someone else's negligence. Turned away by other law firms in the region who didn't bother to learn your story. It's time to meet the Fritz and Beyond Cooley Law Firm and managing partner Brian Fritz. Badly injured? Call the Fritz and Beyond Cooley Law Firm. Find out why they say, "We got this."
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 98, is a proud sponsor of The Labor Show with J. Doc and Krause every Saturday night from 6 till 8 p.m. IBEW Local 98's highly trained and superbly skilled electricians are the best in the business, setting the highest safety standards in the electrical industry. So when you're planning your next industrial, commercial, or residential project, choose an IBEW Local 98 union contractor. Learn more at IBEW98.org.
The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull beef jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
I get scared sometimes.
Of a lot of things.
Joining in.
Decisions.
The dark.
The dark.
But I once heard someone say,
But as I always say,
it's okay to be afraid.
as long as you face the fear.
And keep moving forward.
Wherever you are in life, count on the name trusted in insurance for over 80 years. Independence Blue Cross.
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
All right, back in the house here. And I can't believe that I was just looking at this in the break. That Saints-Packers game only moved from 3 to 4. It's a neutral site.
Yeah.
The
Jacksonville.
Yeah, and the Packers were already favored by 3 coming in. So you think this is what we always talk about, like, oh yeah, neutral site, get rid of the home field advantage. Like, this is a 5.5, 6 point true line. And the Packers are only laying 4. Something's off on that one.
So that makes you want to take the Saints?
No, it makes me want to take the Packers, that I'm getting them at 4. Like, my true line is 5.5, 6. But if the book has them at 4, then that's a 1.5 to 2 points value that I can get. Now, initially, you would say, the value should be when you got them at 3, laying 3, thinking it was in New Orleans. But the fact that the game moved and they only got a point says a lot right there.
I think people have a lot of respect for Jameis's game. I think that's the biggest reason why. Jameis can play, man. Jameis balled out. He just threw too many interceptions. But long story long, he can play, man. He can play the quarterback position. I think that, having that coach, can really dial him down a little bit and get him more focused on being a ball player instead of being whatever he was trying to be in Tampa Bay.
That's a real bummer for those Saints fans and season ticket holders, man, because that's one of the highlight games of the year.
Yes, sir.
On your schedule outside of your division, and then you got to go to Jacksonville to see it.
That's bad blood there too, man.
How far is that ride? I mean, look, I think people
Interstate 10.
Yep.
The reality is that anybody dealing with the fact that in a city where you had to relocate a game, I'm sure driving to Jacksonville is probably not the top priority.
Right.
I am just curious to see, because that's not an easy drive. First off, you better make sure your car is loaded with gas, because you don't want to be stopping much, especially you, Barrett.
Well, yeah, I don't go down there. When I go down, it's a terrible thing. I go down there for games, man. Like, I'm going to Alabama or I go to Auburn. Bro, some of the backyards I run past, man, I'm driving past, Confederate flags everywhere. It's not made for me, Bill.
7 hours, 49 minutes is the drive.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
That's a hell of a
It's one road, I-10.
Yeah, but that's a big drive to go to see a football game. Like, they couldn't move.
Oh, no, people drive it. People drive everywhere for football games, man. I've seen people drive from Philly. I mean, people probably going to drive from here to Vegas to watch a game, watch the Vegas game. I would believe so.
Drive?
Yeah, man. Well, that's like a big deal.
Just get on a plane, bro.
Do the convoy? That sounds like a radio bit.
Yeah,
let's get the convoy together.
Right.
Like 16 different listeners with RVs.
Right.
You can win a spot in some yellow school bus to drive 359 miles.
It sounds like a midday bit on a certain station. and then utilize that as a way for content to leading up to the game. You spend a half hour of every day's show qualifying somebody.
I think so.
Right?
Yeah. Get into.
Well,
that.
Gotta get you in.
My shop made me and D Gun drive to the Super Bowl from Philly all
Minnesota?
the way to Minnesota. Yeah,
They made you drive rather than let you fly.
Yeah, they made it a bit, man. We they taped it. They made it a bit.
In the car and everything.
Right. It was pretty cool.
Well, did D Gun go through his old stomping grounds in Wisconsin on the way?
Of course. We went to what is it? Cracker Barrel there.
Cracker Barrel.
Yes, in Minnesota. I'm like, what the hell are you doing, bro? What are we doing in Wisconsin?
At?
Right.
Seriously.
We're at Cracker Barrel.
Was there not a Ponderosa open or something?
What? The Sizzler was closed.
Right. Get you a great steak at the Sizzler now.
Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. That's fantastic, man. We got a long ways till Sunday, doesn't it feel like it?
Yes,
it does, man.
Long ways until Sunday.
Well, I'm going to a place. This weekend I'm going to West Virginia.
And when do you leave?
Virginia. Friday morning.
Oh, wait a second.
Wait, so you're not doing the show?
Of course I'm doing the show. I'm still doing the show. I'm just going to be sitting in the car doing the show. I'm not going anywhere.
No, that's not going to work.
You're going to be in the car, like on your phone, like I was that one day?
I will be in a great place, though. You guys weren't in great places. I'll be in a great place.
Well, West Virginia, I don't think people use that.
Do they have internet?
Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Do they have internet out there, Barrett?
In West Virginia, you're right.
Yeah,
I'll be in Pittsburgh. I fly to Pittsburgh, so I'll be in Pittsburgh. I'll be good.
Drive to Pittsburgh and drive to Morgantown?
Yeah.
That's not terrible. Who do they have?
They have
college
Long
Island University.
Yeah.
Long Island.
How about last time, man? Kansas, can we talk about this? I don't think you guys have spoken about this, right? South Dakota, first off, covers that spread, and that was the big.
They should have won the game.
Well, that's what I was upset about because I had that big money line play on that. I didn't think I'd be sweating out a money line play for South Dakota. And then how about this? The most egregious of it all was the fact that they thought it was real enough here to charge the field and celebrate.
Rush the field.
Like, my God. At that point, just end it. Just end it. Seriously.
Wait a second.
Outlaw.
Are you serious?
I'm dead
They rushed the field,
the
man.
Kansas fans charged the field after beating South Dakota?
Correct.
Bro, they hadn't won a game in 678 days.
Seriously. They beat
600.
South Dakota.
I know, man, but 678 days, they have not experienced a win.
But that's the thing. They had to schedule South Dakota just to get around that.
Right.
Like
and then they barely won.
Barely won.
Yeah.
I tell you, that really screws anybody who took the under half game for Kansas.
All right.
You're
Leipold, man. Leipold understands what he's going through right now. He says, man, it's going to take me a little bit to win here.
Who's next on the schedule? Uconn?
No. Uconn is Purdue this week, and
UConn's coach just quit.
Well, I love
he was supposed to quit after the season,
right?
But he said,
I'm not going to wait through this.
What was it, Calhoun or whatever his name?
No, Edsel, Randy Edsel.
Edsel, okay.
No,
my boy Lou Spanos. Lou Spanos is the defensive coordinator.
Your boy Lou Spanos. Yeah. He's the interim, right? So he's trying to get the team together on the sideline. They're losing to Holy Cross, and he's trying to rally the team in a huddle. And he puts up his hand like to sort of, 1, 2, 3, yo, whatever. You know how they do all that crap.
Right.
Nobody reached their hand up to grab his. The whole team tuned him out. They're like, I'm out on you.
They're all Edsel guys. That's why. Edsel has a clause in his contract that he gets paid like $400 if he announces his resignation following a loss to an FCS team.
Is that right?
Yeah, somebody fact checked that, and apparently that's in his contract, his clause.
Wow.
So he got an extra kickback, probably enough for dinner or something up in stores.
Yeah,
doing that. Look, that team is an absolute. It was a joke. It was a disgrace from the jump. They had one of the worst defenses.
Yeah,
the worst.
I don't know if Temple beat them though this year. Temple's horrible. Did you catch any of that act on Saturday?
Yeah,
they got the doors beat off of
them. The game was over before it started.
I thought Rutgers, based on the postponement, I thought Rutgers wouldn't be that vicious. I thought it might be a little bit slower of a start. I thought I could sneak under that total there, but that was that was bad.
Well, look, Kansas got Coastal Carolina.
They'll lose that game. They're going to lose.
Yeah.
7-point line or so, right?
Oh, you got to go with the over on that. Easy.
Well, I mean, just to take Coastal Carolina. Like, Coastal Carolina is going to do everything possible to beat the utter piss out of people because they can't afford to have, if they really want a shot at something, and they're not. I mean, they're starting at 22, right? But if they really want to have a shot at something and just be looked at as a strong finish, get a great bowl, right, that normally they would never be in, then they need to blow teams out.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, blow the doors off somebody.
They're 25.5-point favorite according to Caesars.
Yeah.
Wow.
25.5.
That is crazy, man.
Can we talk about Kent State, by the way? These crumbs, these rat bastards down there in Kent State. You know, I'm riding here a 28.5-point Aggies lay in that game, right? 28.5 points. Kent State, at the end of this game, they're trailing big time here. Big time. Down, in fact, 28 points. They're down 28 points. So I have this thing played out here, right? And they try and kick a field goal with like 4 minutes left in the game and already trailing here. Missed field goal here. It's 41-10. So they're covering. They're up 31 points, right? Texas
A&M is up 41-10. Okay.
41-10, right? And here comes these bastards, these rat crumbs down there in Kent State, down 41-10 with what? Less than 4 minutes to go on the clock. 3:18. They line up to kick a field goal. What are you doing? They were on the A&M 8. They
Right.
were on the 4th and goal at A&M 8. Now, if this field
and
goal,
they didn't go for the touchdown.
No, they went for a field goal. And if this field goal, which is a gimme, goes in, I lose that cover because there's no way A&M's going to score.
Right.
Well, of course, this kid, Andrew Glass, missed it.
He missed it?
25-yarder, he missed it.
Oh, my God. That's awesome.
Talk about
You should send him something.
Seriously.
You should send him a middle T-shirt or something.
You're right. No, you're right, man. Look, all the times these guys get flack on social, I'll kill you. You can't believe you missed that. No, I should send him something.
Yeah, you should.
Right,
You should at least put a tweet out to the kid.
Feel better because we want some money.
Wow, that's great.
Amazing, man. Amazing. Wow. Now we just sit and wait. We sit and wait on Sunday and anything else that may come up. 36%. Yeah, I saw this. You put that up there, right? 36% more adults expect
yes.
on the NFL. From what, last year?
I guess from last year. I don't know. I've never been asked to participate in any of these polls, any of these surveys. So I don't know where they get this number from. That could have been just put out there by a PR firm that works for a casino.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Just random information.
Or a betting app.
Let's just throw it out there and see if it bites.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're right. I think you're absolutely 100% on the nose correct. I don't know do you know anybody that's a big bettor, that's a big sports bettor, that's not already betting?
Right.
Or if they are not already betting on the NFL, like who's out there that's a casual that's betting heavy tennis or betting heavy soccer that, this
year I'm going to go in on the NFL.
Right.
This is the year. They finally got me induced enough to bet football.
Okay. I'm going to do it now. Yeah.
You know what this reminds me of? Remember where like every year at the start of the year, we get this top jersey thing, right? Like who the top jersey sales are. And I'm not talking about in Tampa, like the last 2 or 3 years in New England, where this dude was up there for 20 years, it felt like. You'd still have Brady, right, as like the number one seller or two seller. And you just ask yourself, who doesn't own a Brady jersey?
Already.
Right.
Who?
Right?
Well, but here's the thing, though. Over the course of his 20-year career, you could have outgrown a certain size jersey and needed to order another one. Because he's been in the damn league so long, your waist has gotten, 4 inches bigger. You need a bigger shirt.
You're absolutely right, man.
Right. And then
he's been through generations.
Right. You've also had another generation of kids, and you got to get them this jersey.
That's true. So it keeps going up and up and up.
Yeah.
All right. That makes sense.
22 years.
I've washed this jersey so many times, it's got a hole in it.
Right.
I've got to order another.
Worn
one.
out.
Right.
Why don't you just retire? Damn it!
Right.
Amazing.
Because then I have to buy another one to put it in a frame.
Right.
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
And then I mean, you buy one for the kid, you buy one for your significant other,
dog.
Right,
bro? How great is his life, man? How great is his life, man?
I know.
You don't want to tell your significant other that that Brady jersey doesn't really fit much anymore, and you can't buy like a size 2 or 3 sizes bigger.
No,
you can't come home with the XXX after he or she's already wearing the extra medium, right? You can't go from XM to XX without that being a conversation, man.
Right.
You know, that's it.
How are we feeling about our Packers bet?
It's pretty good. I was looking at that the other day, actually.
Yeah.
I was looking at the paperwork.
Because my UCLA over 7 wins is looking pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I don't mind that.
Yeah.
You definitely made it with that, man. Because I mean, you look at them, man, they're looking good. Chip has his guys going right now. He's finally got his culture indoctrinated there. They love Chip Kelly now.
Yeah.
They love him right now.
Yeah, well, they returned like 9 of 10 guys, right?
Well, they returned. Yeah, they returned a ton of starters. On both sides of the ball.
That was great research by you, man.
But I mean, they had LSU on the schedule here, so credit to them for scheduling that game and then winning it.
Well, their coach is on the hot seat, hot seat right now.
The conference had to, though, right?
Well, right.
You have Oregon this week. Now,
don't they have Ohio State?
They do, exactly. Yeah. So it's kind of like, you have to keep up now because that's the difference. If both teams are head to head now, all of a sudden you look at that strength of schedule.
Yep.
I liked Oregon going in there, but now I don't. After I thought they would handle Fresno a little.
Well, it was kind of a look ahead situation.
Right.
I know, but their first year. Remember, they're riding with that transfer QB from BC.
And they lost Thibodeau, though. That's the big problem. Their best defensive player, one of the best players in the country.
Yep. That's a great point.
What do you mean? How'd they lose him?
He got hurt.
In that
yeah, he got hurt.
That's a huge loss going into Ohio.
Huge. He was the number one defender, the number one defensive end in the league, man. He only had like 5.5, 6 sacks, but the way in which he did it, man, that kid was everywhere. Wow, I didn't know he was out.
And it's what, a 14 or so point line?
He's a top 5 pick.
Oh, no question.
Easily.
No question.
No, that's
Chip Kelly going back home. That's gonna be a great game.
Yeah, the UCLA plays at Oregon, I think, this year. That's their next toughest game.
That's
going back home.
That's probably going to decide everything. Washington out. That's probably going to decide it. Really,
USC. That's always a rivalry.
Yeah, that's a rivalry.
Now, what I would look at would be. So what's going to be the big thing this week in practice? Is there anything left to decide? Right? Like Jordan Mailata starting at left tackle. There's no argument there, right?
No.
Do we not know that? Do we not know that, though, definitively? Has he been named? Like they named Ertz the starter. Can we get a naming of the left tackle, please?
Well, he did. They did name him. I mean, he said, of course you've seen it. He's taking all the reps. He's the guy. I mean, I really have to say
that about Ertz.
He said the same thing about Ertz, but he said, Jordan, he did declare him the starter. I think really the only position, the real position battles right now are how they're going to split up these reps with the defensive ends and also the safety with Wallace and Epps.
Yeah.
I think those are the two big position battles that are still, kind of up in the air. How they're going to divvy these reps up. Then you also got to look at the defensive tackle position. I don't know right now if they have enough. One of those guys may have to slide in, like Williams, the rookie. He may have to slide in just to give these guys some reps. Or maybe bring BG in. Have BG play a little defensive tackle. But I'm still worried. I'm still worried on how they're going to. That's what I'm saying. I'm still worried on how they're going to stop the run, man. They didn't stop anybody in the run game this last preseason. So
but is Atlanta really going to run the ball a lot?
They're not, but still.
Yeah.
You think so?
Here's why. This is why, man. First off, they haven't had a guy like Mike Davis who can be also a third down back now that you can throw the football to. But they're also they're a really bad team last year. And when they're such a bad team, they're playing against teams much better than them. Their defense can't keep up. and they're down. And we saw this with Dallas before Dak got hurt, where it's just throw, throw, throw. So, yeah, I mean, I don't get me wrong. Like, they're going to come out with 3 wideout sets. They're going to throw to Kyle Pitts a lot. They're going to throw to Hurst. Like, they're going to ask Matt Ryan to throw. But I don't think that either team really pulls away in this game. And therefore, the run game is probably going to be more of a luxury that the Falcons can use where they normally haven't been able to. Look, this Eagles D-line is not as feared as it once was shutting the run down. So that's another, like Josh Sweat could have double-digit sacks this year, and they could be one of the worst defensive lines against the run in the
right.
game.
Both can be true.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And, you know, they've got a lot of injuries, some injured guys on that defensive front.
Correct. Well, that's the thing. I don't know. There's something about this game. It's a 4-point, like that number is awkward to me, right? Like this is an easy week 1. Everything is at 7, you know, hovering around 3, maybe 2.5 with Seattle because they're on the road, you know, road favorites. It's going to budge a little bit. And you'll get like the Packers Saints moved to 4, right? Because it went from a home game to neutral.
I see 3.5.
I have it at 4. So if you want, you can get it at 4 on Fox at minus 118, a little bit more. At minus 4, you can get it even money for the Falcons. But it's over that hook regardless. I don't know. I think that this is one of those cases where the books realize that, oh, yeah, they're dogs, but they're better. Like Barrett could sit here and make the most comprehensive football argument that makes total sense and would have everybody fired up like some Kenneth Branagh speech in Henry VIII. And you still look at the or that Henry VII.
Henry VIII. What?
Epic Kenneth Branagh speech, man.
Yeah.
And then still you look at this line and think, well, the books are telling you the opposite. Books are telling you that they're going to sucker you in thinking this is going to be closer than it is. I don't want anything to do with an Eagles from a betting Eagles standpoint on Sunday. Nothing.
No, that's why you just take the total like you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Kenneth Branagh. Now I need to look this up.
Right.
What was it Henry VIII?
Yeah, Henry V. Henry V.
Sorry. There you go.
Yeah.
Not one person on the chat knew either.
1989 film, Henry V.
Yeah. Epic. It was 100 Years War.
Okay.
Epic speech that he gave to fire everybody up.
So is this like this could be duplicated in a locker room situation?
Yeah, I see more like Barrett doing it on the show. You know?
Oh yeah,
in a little.
You should have went with the Titans move. Was it and you know the what was it the battle that they went through? They all ran out to the battle. They woke up early.
Who?
That was the 300.
Remember the 3. Oh, that was a great one too.
Yeah,
that was a great one too. That was a great speech too. But remember the Titans. They all went out to that battlefield. They woke them early in the morning.
I didn't see that crap.
You didn't see Remember the Titans.
I saw it, but I don't remember this part.
There's only one football
Gettysburg
program. That's it.
Gettysburg.
They went to Gettysburg?
Yeah.
I went to college at Gettysburg. The hell I need to see a movie about it. All right. Talk to me when you're hopped up off mushrooms on Little Round Top at 3 a.m.
Oh, man. Christian Bale was in Henry V.
Yeah, probably as a low-key guy.
And Judi Dench. The Dame, Judi Dench.
Love the Dench. I love the Dench.
The Dench.
Oh, man.
Come on. Remember the Titans?
I might need to rent this Henry V.
Well, look, I wouldn't. I don't know if Henry V holds up. I was just giving an example.
You don't think it's Shakespeare? It's got to hold up.
Yeah.
Right.
Shakespeare's holds up for hundreds of years.
I don't know, man. You think so?
Yeah.
Shakespeare. Who's this guy? Who does he think he is? This Shakespeare coming in here with his own words and language. You know?
Yeah.
He said he loved the Dench. Yeah.
Big fan.
Emma Thompson is in it. Oh, now you got to see it.
Judi Dench, mom.
Do you really know who Judi Dench is?
I do.
That's mom. 007.
Correct.
Oh yeah.
Correct.
You holy shit. That's a
wow.
She's in like all of them, right?
Yes. She just got killed off though.
Oh, is
the
that
last
okay.
one? Yeah,
Okay.
she got killed off the last one.
You got to bring somebody new in.
Right.
She was born in 1934.
Oh, I know. She's up there.
Wow. Yeah, I gave you a must watch, a stick and click next time you see Henry V.
Derek Jacobi.
Yeah, who's
that's
Derek
your guy right there?
Jacobi?
Right?
Henry VIII. What about the 8th?
Well, you got to get through the 5th first.
That's true. A 5th of vodka and then an 8th.
A 5th of bourbon and then watch Henry VIII.
Right. A 5th for a 5th and then an 8th for the 8th. Right? There you go.
There you go.
And it could be an 8 ball if you like.
Any more developments on this Ben Simmons nonsense?
No. There's not going to be any. You're going to have another development with Randy Edsall before you do with Ben Simmons. There's nothing going on. Nothing going on. That's a great pull by you. Yeah, Adam Exploits mentioning the same on Barrett. No, the only reason why I even brought that stupid thing up was because that's where I was thinking like Barrett could fire the whole crowd here up. And I still would have to look at the line and say, well, it's telling me the opposite. It's telling me to just either take the Falcons or stay away.
That's one thing I've learned from being on this show. You can't stay all pig-headed because I still can't believe Carson's gone.
Well, yes, but look, that's another game, by the way.
That makes no logical sense whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, is he going to play?
I don't think so. I mean, he is actually. I think he is.
He is going to play because the line's 2.5. Seattle's favored on the road.
They have been favored, though.
Yeah, but wasn't that because they didn't know if Wentz was going to play?
Well, remember when this thing first came out, let me make sure that I have it in front of me. When this thing first came out, I pushed it to 3.5. So I believe it was at 3 because I bumped it to 3.5 at -150. So it's gone from 3 down to 2.5.
Oh, wow.
So it's passed through 3, which is not easy to do. And that's probably the Wentz factor. Look, does it matter? Does it really matter? Like Carson Wentz isn't going to come out with no preseason in this system and just throw dimes left and right.
Oh, I would have thought it'd been that way anyways, because at this point, I think Fisher is back. He's playing, but the right tackle, Brandon Smith,
right? He's out. I think he's still out, right, Barrett?
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, you're talking about, a makeshift offensive line. They might have the worst player ever. Matt Pryor started.
Oh yeah, that's right. Is he going to start?
I don't know, but I mean, he's there. And
how about that for a first start against Seattle?
Exactly.
Oh.
Exactly.
Right.
So you look at them, and then look who he has to throw to. I mean,
no T.Y. Hilton.
No T.Y. Hilton.
Right.
Or you got Michael Pittman Jr. You got Zach Pascal.
Pascal's probably their best receiver right now.
He is.
Yeah.
There's nobody else though.
And their tight ends are good.
Yeah, Jack Doyle. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, what, you're going to rely on Jack Doyle to move the ball down the field against?
They're probably putting Naeem Hines out there a lot in the slot.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
that's a good point. You probably see a lot of him moved around.
Yeah,
that's actually
he's a major weapon.
Wait,
now he's a sleeper. He's a sleeper now. He's gonna put up some points.
Yeah. When did he go in these fantasy drafts, Eytan?
He should have went pretty high, like 4th round, 5th round.
No, not that high, man. Think about that. Your 4th or 5th selection. I'll tell you, ADP from Fantasy Pros has him 135th overall.
Okay.
So,
that's
divide that by 12.
And who was the consensus first quarterback taken in most drafts?
Most likely Mahomes, I would think. Mahomes and Lamar are up there.
Yeah.
You don't really need to. I mean, Josh Allen is another one too.
Yeah, Josh Allen, I would figure.
I think Murray would be like probably higher than everybody because, I mean, look at the weapons he has to throw to.
Well, it's also the guys that run too. So Murray is up there. Don't get me wrong, but it's also guys that run for touchdowns that you don't have to factor. So like Murray runs, but he doesn't take away from the run game as much as Josh Allen
Or Lamar Jackson.
Lamar mainly. But yes, I mean, look, Murray is like mostly a top. I'll tell you where he is for a quarterback spot. And we got to get out of here for the top of the hour. Murray is back and forth, third and fourth, but he also, depending on where you have it, on average drops to about 5. So he's rotating between Rodgers and Prescott, where for the most part you've got Mahomes, Allen, and Lamar. But then look, there are some sites that will have Kyler Murray as the third. Some have him as the fifth.
Right.
So he ranges. He ranges. That's
where did Ertz go? How late?
Not that late.
No.
But Jalen Hurts is probably like the 11th or 12th quarterback ranked for the most part.
Yeah, he's gonna run, man. He's gonna put up some. He's gonna put up some running yards.
That's huge. And look, we don't know on the goal line what they're gonna do.
Right.
I mean, they may run plays for Hurts. They may get him out there, or like you said, Barrett, he's got that big play capability on the ground. So yeah, I mean, Hurts went above Burrow, Ryan, Lawrence, Mayfield, Fields, those types of guys. So,
well, there's a lot of good games week 1, man.
I can't wait, man. I can't wait. All right, you guys will pick up the torch here.
Yeah.
Rob Motti, right?
12:30.
All right. Enjoy that. I'll be back with you guys at 11 tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of the show. Remember to hit that like button. Smash away if you have not. Make sure you are subscribed to the JAKIB Media YouTube channel as well. Live and local from the Fritz and B and Cooley Law Studios. If you know someone who suffered a personal injury, contact Brian Fritz directly. And The Middle, sponsored by Pure Bull Beef Jerky. Get yours today. Go to steersnacks.com.
Hey, Eagles fans, if you're a subscriber to the JAKIB Media YouTube channel, you are already registered to win a pair of season tickets for the upcoming season. That's right. You could win a pair of season tickets for the upcoming 2021 season just for being a subscriber. If you're watching and you're not a subscriber, do it now. Subscribe to the JAKIB Media YouTube channel right now. What do you need to do? Subscribe right now.
As a hardworking American, you've never experienced how tough life can be until now. A catastrophic injury while working on the job. A personal injury from someone else's negligence. Turned away by other law firms in the region who didn't bother to learn your story. It's time to meet the Fritz and Beyond Cooley Law Firm and managing partner Brian Fritz. Badly injured? Call the Fritz and Beyond Cooley Law Firm. Find out why they say, "We got this."
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 98, is a proud sponsor of The Labor Show with J. Doc and Krause every Saturday night from 6 till 8 p.m. IBEW Local 98's highly trained and superbly skilled electricians are the best in the business, setting the highest safety standards in the electrical industry. So when you're planning your next industrial, commercial, or residential project, choose an IBEW Local 98 union contractor. Learn more at IBEW98.org.
The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull Beef Jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
I get scared sometimes.
Of a lot of things.
Joining in.
Decisions.
The dark.
The dark.
But I once heard someone say,
but as I always say,
it's okay to be afraid.
As long as you face the fear.
And keep moving forward.
Wherever you are in life, count on the name trusted in insurance for over 80 years. Independence Blue Cross.
On the field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
All right, welcome back. Hour number 2 of The Middle with Barrett Brooks and Harry Mays. We got Rob Motti from the Associated Press coming up at 12:30. But a lot to discuss here, Barrett. I saved a lot of this college football stuff because I knew, Eytan was going to have to duck out at noon. I figured we'd go through a lot of college stuff and pro stuff in this final segment until we get Rob on, when it's going to be all the Eagles all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
Now you got the purple shirt on. Now, is that the Omega shirt or is that a
Yes.
K-State shirt? Okay.
Yeah, it's Omega shirt. Yeah, it's Omega shirt.
Gotcha. All right. That looks good.
Like, yeah, K-State, man. I don't know. What
They won.
Exactly. So, but I don't know. I mean, is this something that's gonna, manifest itself throughout the season? Because this coach is pretty good, man. And I have him not this weekend, but next weekend. I'm anxious to see what they're about.
Who are they playing when you do the game?
They're playing Nevada, which is going to be a good game.
Nevada's got a pretty good quarterback.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. They have had a couple of good quarterbacks come out there. So I'm looking at,
that Kaepernick guy was from there.
Yeah.
Seriously, though, how many John Riggins and Gale Sayers references were there in the fourth quarter?
I was surprised. I got one of Gale Sayers. And
you did?
Yeah. I got Naismith. I got him a couple times in there.
James
also.
Naismith. Yeah, of course. Invented basketball.
Exactly. And his grave is right there when you get off the exit.
Okay.
In Lawrence.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So it's a basketball school.
That's like hallowed ground, man.
It is, man.
What about Riggins? No mention.
No
of the
Riggins.
Diesel? Oh,
no
man.
Riggins. No Riggins.
I hate to do it. But this NFL schedule, I was thinking, we're all dialed in on this Eagles-Falcons game, and rightly so. There are some big matchups in week 1. And I'm not even talking about Dallas and Tampa Bay. Pittsburgh-Buffalo. How about that game?
That's a great game out the box.
Yeah, and the unfortunate thing is we probably won't see it.
Why
because it's up against the Eagles game.
Oh, I hate to do it to myself. That's the bad thing about, that I have to watch and focus on the Eagles games. I have to talk post-game show.
Right.
So I'll miss all the games, especially after the game, because I can't watch the games while I'm on the stage, when I'm on air.
Mm-hmm.
But during the game, I can flip back and forth, checking games out.
Right.
But I mean, there are some good. The
Chargers-Washington football team is a very interesting game too. I agree with you. Yeah.
So you had an up and coming quarterback against an aged quarterback. Possibly the best defense in the league, going against this new quarterback. Man, I mean,
Seattle, Indianapolis is very intriguing. Forget about the obvious Wentz storyline stuff, but that's a good game.
A really good game. I also want to see the Vikings. The Vikings are like a lot of people's sleeper team this year.
How is that? Why is that?
Because of quarterback. He's back. And the dynamics.
Cousins?
Yeah. No.
Oh,
Bengals quarterback.
I thought you were talking about the I thought the Vikings were the sleeper team.
Yeah, the Vikings are the sleeper team.
How are they a sleeper team? They're not going to win anything with Kirk Cousins.
LaDainian talked about him. Michael Robinson talked about him from NFL Network. They were talking about the team being a sleeper team. I can't see it.
No, I can't either.
Maybe they were just fed that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Sometimes they get fed that and just throw it out there. But I can't see it. But I mean, I like the Cardinals as a sleeper team.
Yeah, I could see that much more than the Vikings.
And that's going to be a really, really good game because, nobody's talking about what the Cardinals have brought into their organization.
Mm-hmm.
They have Green. They took Green from Cincinnati. He's there. So that's a powerhouse offense. And J.J. Watt is now a Cardinal. So if he can stay healthy, that's one of, the best defensive linemen to ever play the game.
Yeah.
Now he's there. So this is a sleeper team to me.
Cleveland, Kansas City's a great game. That's a playoff rematch, isn't it?
I can't believe it, man. The first week out the gate.
Right.
Great football.
Miami, New England. That's a very intriguing game.
Yep.
I mean, you got the new era at quarterback with New England with Mac Jones. Miami's kind of an up and coming team.
Yep.
Had a pretty good year last year. They got a good coach.
And then your favorite, Packers Saints.
Right, that's a great game.
So
I just wish it was in the Superdome.
Right, man.
I mean, it was Monday night game is pretty good too. The Ravens going out to Vegas in that stadium.
Exactly.
With people in it.
With the dance studio, or not the dance studio, but the club that's inside.
Right.
The stadium.
What is that? Like a strip club? They have a strip club in that stadium?
I don't know, man, but I know
it's a casino.
It's actually a club inside the stadium. That's crazy, man.
Right. Well, I mean, the Vegas Raiders were not all that interesting last season.
No,
so maybe you needed a club to distract you. But anyway, also the college this weekend. Now, you had your game, but how about the performance from this Michigan State running back, man? Kenneth Walker III had 264 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns.
Unbelievable, man.
I mean, Jesus.
Unbelievable. I hate to do it. I hate to do it to Ike, man, but hey, he gonna be talking cash stuff about this, man. He loves him already.
Well, yeah, he was a Sparty, right?
Yep, he was a Michigan State guy,
right?
So he's gonna be all over it, man.
Now, what did you think of the Clemson Georgia game? No offensive touchdowns scored.
I know, man. Both quarterbacks, they're highly touted. They really didn't show me anything, man. And I could see why, because the way they mixed their coverages up. It was a straight defensive game. I love how the secondaries play for both teams.
Yeah.
So I mean, it to me, it fit the bill as far as watching all defensive concepts were going on in the game. The average casual fan, I can't see them really enjoying it, but I liked it. How about the Alabama game?
I loved it because Georgia covered, and so did the under.
Right.
So, yeah, Alabama. That's the other thing, man. Alabama wins again. Like the whole season, you might as well just try to enjoy it for what it is. But Alabama's going to win another national championship.
There's no question about that.
Yeah,
and they were talking about that. Most schools have to replace guys. They just retool their everybody in their organization from defensive. This tight end caught his first 2 catches were touchdowns.
Right.
We hadn't even seen this guy. I didn't even know. Did he have a name on the back of his jersey? He comes in and scores 2 touchdowns, his first 2 catches.
Yeah. That's new offensive coordinator, new quarterback, new running back. I mean, they just reload with all different numbers, different guys. It's unbelievable. I mean, Miami had no chance in that game.
None whatsoever. None whatsoever. They looked very unorganized. The Florida State game was a pretty good game. So
yeah, Florida State Notre Dame was probably the best game of the weekend.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
And Florida State, who I had, covered the number.
And they're a lot better than I thought they were going to be.
Yeah,
they were horrible last year.
Yeah, they run the 2 quarterbacks out of there,
but it works for them, man. They almost won the game.
Yeah. Now, more than the game was discussed was what happened after the game with Brian Kelly on the field getting interviewed after the game.
Didn't see that. What happened?
You didn't see this?
No.
Brian Kelly attempted a joke. He attempted the old John McKay line from back in, I think, 1976, when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were 0-14. And McKay was asked by some reporter, like, what did you think of your team's execution? And he said, I'm in favor of it.
What?
Yes, you don't remember this? This is classic. Yeah.
No.
What did you think of your team's execution? I think was the question. And McKay's response was, I'd be in favor of it. In other words, execute them. They stink, right? So Brian Kelly, of all guys, who has had a student die under his watch,
right?
That he sent up into a rickety little tower to film practice in a high wind situation, and the kid died.
What?
Okay? Yeah, you don't remember this? A couple years ago. This is years ago. Yeah. So Kelly, of all people, attempts the joke, and he botched the joke.
Oh no,
he botched it. Now he shouldn't be one delivering this with given his history.
Exactly, his
but
history.
People went crazy, and the reporter after the game, like this was on the field during after the game when he's walking off. But then he was asked about it in the post game presser by some reporter who absolutely had no idea who John McKay was, or that this was his attempt at redoing that joke. The whole thing was a total mess. That's the only thing that was being discussed about the whole college football weekend. They weren't even talking about the games.
That was crazy, man.
Yeah,
real crazy. But I mean, this is one of the better weeks as far as because we kept having to say it. You know, the better weeks as far as that NCAA season coming in and all these top 5, top 10 matchups. There was like 3 top 10 matchups.
Yeah, Penn State-Wisconsin game was interesting. And Penn State, of course, comes away with a big road win in conference play. What was it, 16-10? The kid missed the extra point.
Right.
In the fourth quarter, you're like, oh, my God, Wisconsin's going to come back, score a touchdown, and win this by
and they had a
point,
chance.
Right? They had many chances.
Right.
But all they want to do is run the football on first down. And like they had a couple of first down throws attempts, but they didn't sprint this kid out. Their quarterback is Mertz. He plays small.
Yep.
You need to get him out of the pocket a little bit. He was throwing down the middle of the field and he couldn't see defenders. He threw 2 big picks in the fourth quarter.
Well, you look at it also, man. I mean, and Penn State was giving them everything they wanted. You know, they were playing off the ball. They could have ran the slant all the way down the field.
Right.
I mean, all the way down the field, the little out, run a slant in, because they were just so far back, playing so far back. I don't know why they didn't take advantage of it. Why go in the middle of the field when the outside is right there for the taking?
Yeah, I didn't understand.
Keep throwing the out. Keep throwing the out.
I didn't understand it. I didn't understand a lot of what they tried to do. Offensively, they're hard to watch.
Oh, they are.
They really are. And
most
now
teams.
Right. And now their former quarterback is the quarterback for Notre Dame. And he had a bunch of touchdown passes. Yeah, he was at Wisconsin.
Wow.
Cone. Yeah, Penn State's a little bit tough to watch too. Their quarterback does nothing for me.
No, me neither. And they have all those athletes out there.
Oh yeah, they got talent.
They got a lot of talent.
They got
a lot of talent. But yeah, it was a defensive battle, man.
But it was good to see that stadium because that's one of the great home field situations where they do the jump around.
Yep.
And then the stadium's going nuts. It was
Bro,
just good
have you ever been there?
No, I haven't. That's one place I would like to go. There's a bunch of places I want to go, but that's one of them.
Well, I did a game there, and when they play that jump around, you can literally feel the stadium
shake, right? Yeah,
it was shaking. You could feel it. I'm like, why doesn't that place fall down, man? Because you can literally feel it, man.
Yeah. A couple of the other observations I had over the weekend. I kind of figured this one. I was on Virginia Tech, right? We talked about that game.
Yep.
They beat Carolina. And this Sam Howell's got nobody to throw to. I mean, they lost their whole offense pretty much to the NFL.
Both their running backs,
a couple of receivers. Yeah. So I kind of saw that coming. I figured they'd lose that game. But the other one,
you called it.
And they're ranked. I mean, weren't they 10th in the country? I mean, that's totally overrated situation. And Indiana was ranked.
Come on, man.
Yeah. And they got their doors blown off. They got their doors blown off by Iowa. So that they were fraudulent. And Oklahoma had trouble with Tulane.
Yeah. They said Tulane's a pretty good team, though.
Yeah, I know, but come on. This is Oklahoma. Right. They're supposed to be this Spencer Rattler's the greatest thing, in college football, and they're going to compete for the national championship. Exactly. Come on, man. You got to bury Tulane.
And he's supposed to be like 6th in the Heisman already.
Yeah.
2nd in the Heisman already. And now, coming out late an egg on that.
Yeah. Now we got some comments on the stream about Ole Miss, their quarterback, Corral. You like him?
I like him a lot, actually.
Yeah, he put up some numbers, huh?
Well, he has people to throw to, man. He has legitimate outside threats.
381 yards and a touchdown.
They can't run the ball worth a squat, but they can hose it.
Yeah.
They're going to have to do that. Their defense needs to step up.
Yeah.
They're the only ones I think they do play Georgia, right?
Ole Miss?
Yeah.
I know Georgia has their toughest game is against Florida, and then they have a game at Auburn. That's all, that's a rivalry game too. Let me see if they're scheduled. I know they play Mississippi State. Let's see. Georgia has UAB, South Carolina, Vanderbilt, Arkansas, Auburn, Kentucky, Florida, Missouri, Tennessee. No, they do not play Ole Miss.
No Ole Miss. So that is an easy schedule. Missouri, come on now. Tennessee, that's a That's what Tennessee's a win. Georgia's a win. Kentucky's a win. Arkansas is a win. South Carolina will be tough.
They're going to run the table.
There's no question.
If they beat Florida, they run the table.
There's no question about this. So they'll play their ways themselves into the playoffs.
So they'll play in the SEC championship game against Alabama.
Yep.
And the loser could still possibly advance to the playoffs. because Clemson's already got their loss, right?
Yep.
And Clemson might lose another game. Let's see who's on their schedule. By the way, I did see on ESPN's website, is this the beginning of the end for Clemson football? They lost the game to Georgia, and it's the beginning of the end for Clemson football. Clemson's next. They have Georgia Tech. They'll bury Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech lost to Northern Illinois this weekend. NC State could be a pretty good game. Boston College is
Texas A&M.
They don't play Texas A&M.
They don't play them this year?
No, they don't. Clemson doesn't play them.
One of the few times they didn't. They usually do play them.
Yeah, they have. They did have a home and home, I think, with them. But I think that's over.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think they played them. Was it last year and the year before? They have Florida State, but it's at home. Boy, they play Connecticut. Oh, my God. Wake Forest.
That shouldn't be fair, Carolina.
Man. Now, Clemson, I doubt they're going to make it to the playoff. It'll probably be Oklahoma, Alabama, Georgia, and maybe a Pac-12 team sneaks in this year. Ooh. Or Ohio State. What would you think?
I think Ohio State.
If Oregon beats Ohio State.
I don't think they will, though.
You don't think so?
No.
I don't know. I'd love to see it. I need something different.
Well,
I need to see Alabama beat a different team.
Maybe they should play the Eagles.
Right.
Or the Falcons.
Right. Now, speaking of the Eagles, did you see this? Well, former Eagles, at least. Terrell Owens is back in the news.
Oh, I saw that.
T.O. was appearing on Shannon Sharp's Club Shay Shay podcast and says he'd like to take on Donovan McNabb in a celebrity boxing match.
That was all time.
He said, quote, "I'm dead serious, Shannon. I'll knock him out because there would be so much pent up rage. It'll be controlled. It'll be controlled anger. I'd be like a Navy SEAL. They're cool and calm under all conditions, but there would be a fire burning inside me." Owens responded, "Clean out. I'd knock the chunky soup from him." End quote.
But first of all, he said he was going to fight somebody for $2 million, right? He was going to fight like Zab Dude or something like that for $2 million.
Well, he said he's been approached by promoters.
Yeah,
for celebrity boxing, and Sharp threw out the number $2 million for what Owens could command. So that's Shannon Sharp speculating.
Right, but then he turns around and said, "How much would you fight Donovan McNabb for?" He said, "A can of potted meat and some crackers."
Dude, I'm telling you, I would pay to see it.
There's no question.
I would buy.
It would be. I would pay $100 pay per view to see him fight Donovan McNabb.
I would. Forget about this Jake Paul. I'm not watching him box or any of these other guys, but I would watch T.O. go at it with McNabb.
And he said he would go. He'd start training right now.
Yeah,
right now.
Well, he's ripped anyway. He doesn't even need to start training. He's always ripped. He'd be shredded, right? And then Donovan takes off his robe and he's all fat because Donovan's fat. Yeah, that would be awesome.
You say Don.
I'm embarrassed. Oh, that would be so great. I hope this happens.
Oh my goodness! And I haven't heard anything back from Donovan.
No, I know.
His ringing. His phone is ringing off the hook because.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Every player in the world has called him.
I mean, he could get the payday too,
bro. It'd be more. It would be over. It would be over $2 million. It'd be more than Jake Paul he made in his fight. It'd be way more than that. I mean, they probably command about $10 million a piece.
Yeah,
to fight.
Oh, that would be great.
And he said yes, it would be like exhibition. Like he wouldn't try to knock him out. It wouldn't be like that. He said he'd be very calculated.
Oh yeah,
you know, and tear him apart. You know what I'm saying? That's like
so sort of like he's going to be like Floyd Mayweather.
Right.
He's going to be a tactician out there, right? The sweet science,
right?
T.O.
He's going to make him. I guess he want to make him suffer or something, right?
Yeah.
I would definitely pay to see that, man. I can't wait for Donovan's response.
I know. It would have to be like a straight up boxing match. You wouldn't want to get like MMA because if McNabb managed to get on top of him, it could be over. You know what I'm saying? Oh wow! I'm telling you, I would watch this.
Why wouldn't Donovan respond though?
Yeah, so he's got to. I mean, Shannon Sharp needs to get Donovan on.
No question.
That's the next move.
You see, he had Pac-Man on. Pac-Man Jones on the other day. I did not know that he went and adopted. I think Chris Henry, the receiver, his best friend from college. He passed away and he adopted his kids. Yeah, he adopted his kids.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, man. Yeah. That was very big of him.
Did Henry play with the Bengals too?
Yes, they were both on the same team together.
Yeah.
Best friends in college, best friends on this team. So yeah, he adopted his boys.
Oh, that's wild. How many are there?
I think it's two or three.
Wow, that's pretty incredible.
Let's stand up.
So do you listen to the Shay podcast?
I do, man. I do. Some of the stuff they say on it, man. Some of the stuff he says is just, because I admire, the way he articulates things, man. Because he says what he says what he wants to say and how he wants to say it.
Right.
He and his co-host, man, I enjoy watching them.
Well, who's the co-host on the podcast?
Oh, it's just him on the podcast.
Oh, okay.
It's just him. It's just him.
Yeah, I don't watch the Undisputed show because I can't take the other guy.
Well, I like him, man.
Do you really?
I like him. Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
I listen to him a little bit.
You're the one.
I'm the only one, huh?
Wow. Who knew?
Skip. I don't because he other skip everywhere. Skip.
Yeah.
You believe this, Skip? I'd make it happen, Skip. I'm telling you, Skip. I'll bust him up, Skip.
So what's the what's the total skips during the show?
Oh man, I bet you the over/under sitting around
in the triple digits.
Maybe 120, 130. Skip this, skip. Be like, Shan, hey, Shan, hey, Shan.
Right. Oh man! All right, we got Rob Maaddi from the Associated Press coming up. He's got some good stuff on Nick Sirianni. Talk a lot of Eagles with Rob. Maybe we'll even ask him about this rumor about the Sixers and the Toronto Raptors.
Let's make it happen.
Shed some light on that. Rob Maaddi from the AP joins us next. You've got one more half hour to go here on the JAKIB Media YouTube channel. Smash that like button. And don't forget, a subscriber will get a pair of season tickets to the Eagles this year. But you got to be subscribed. So subscribe, smash the like button, and tell a friend. Last half hour of the middle coming up with Harry Mays and Barrett Brooks.
Hey, Eagles fans, if you're a subscriber to the JAKIB Media YouTube channel, you are already registered to win a pair of season tickets for the upcoming season. That's right, you could win a pair of season tickets for the upcoming 2021 season just for being a subscriber. If you're watching and you're not a subscriber, do it now. Subscribe to the JAKIB Media YouTube channel right now. What do you need to do? Subscribe right now.
As a hard-working American, you've never experienced how tough life can be until now. A catastrophic injury while working on the job. A personal injury from someone else's negligence. Turned away by other law firms in the region who didn't bother to learn your story. It's time to meet the Fritz & Bianculli Law Firm and managing partner Brian Fritz. Badly injured? Call the Fritz & Bianculli Law Firm. Find out why they say, "We got this."
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 98, is a proud sponsor of The Labor Show with J. Doc and Krause every Saturday night from 6 to 8 p.m. IBEW Local 98's highly trained and superbly skilled electricians are the best in the business, setting the highest safety standards in the electrical industry. So when you're planning your next industrial, commercial, or residential project, choose an IBEW Local 98 union contractor. Learn more at IBEW98.org.
The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull Beef Jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
I get scared sometimes.
Of a lot of things.
Joining in.
Decisions.
The dark.
The dark.
But I once heard someone say,
But as I always say,
it's okay to be afraid.
as long as you face the fear.
And keep moving forward.
Wherever you are in life, count on the name trusted in insurance for over 80 years. Independence Blue Cross.
On the field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
And we are back, final half hour of a Tuesday edition. Finally, we are in football week. As this will be the second official football Friday, but it'll be the first official football Friday this week of the NFL. And we're going to talk a lot of NFL and a lot of Eagles with our next guest, and he is the great Rob Maaddi, at Rob Maaddi on Twitter, of course, with the Associated Press. He writes books. He does TV. He does it all. And we have a question already on the stream, Rob, that they want to know how you get your hair like that. They love your hair, so they want to know what product you're putting in the hair.
This is bedhead, man.
Okay.
This is, I just woke up and this is what it looked like today as we were rushing girls to the school, went to the gym. But I use a product called Got2B. You get it at Walmart. It's a molding paste.
Got2B.
Yeah, that's the brand. Yeah, shout out to them if they want to.
You should get an endorsement.
Yeah, if they want to sponsor, you guys and one of my shows, let's make it happen because I give them a lot of money, man.
Right.
Got2B. I love it, man. I might have to check some of that out. All right, Rob, let's first, before we get into the hardcore stuff, we were just talking about this T.O. McNabb thing, and I'm sure you're up on what's going on. T.O. was on a podcast with Shannon Sharp and said he wants to knock the chunky soup out of Donovan McNabb in a celebrity boxing match.
And this guy's it was funny 15 years ago, 10 years ago, but man, T.O. can't let it go.
No.
And I like T.O. and I had some fun with him, seeing him at Super Bowls and we talk and all that, but he cannot let this go. It's gotten to the point where it's beyond funny and hilarious and a little petty, don't you think? Like,
there's no question about that. Yep.
Right. And Donovan tries to be the bigger man, but Donovan, deep down inside, like he's bothered by it. He wants to say something. I understood where T.O. was coming from the whole time. I thought T.O. got a raw deal here in Philly. And
right.
He could have been such a legend in this town. He is for a year and a half, right?
Yeah.
But he could have finished his career out here. I bet he could still catch passes in the NFL, man.
No doubt. Yeah, no doubt. Last I saw Donovan, he was the bigger man, about 100 pounds bigger.
You had to go there.
I had to do it. I would, say what you want about this. I would pay. Barrett and I are also on record. We pay $99.99 to watch this fight.
No question about that. I definitely would.
Oh, I don't think it would be much of a fight, though. I mean, as you just mentioned, Donovan hasn't kept himself in the gym, and T.O.'s in phenomenal shape. I would be like, this would be like less than a minute, and T.O. would knock. He's right; he would knock the chunky soup out of him.
Well, I think he needs a little more money than Donovan. I think Donovan, kept his money a little more than what he did. So
I have the feeling T.O. spends a lot of money.
I did kind of, yeah. It wouldn't shock me.
No.
Right.
All right, now I saw you got to put out a tweet with Nick Sirianni with about 2 minutes of audio that you had asked him a question in his media availability, and he gave you a very truthful answer. Can you expound for the people?
Yeah, Harry, I asked him yesterday about what this game is going to mean to him, his journey to the NFL. This is his first regular season game as a head coach. It's a coaching family. And, I gave him I know you're focused on the Falcons and game planning. And there's a lot of coaches, guys, that would have went down that road. Well, it's not about me. It's about the team and focused on this and that. And he said, yeah, I would say that. And then he just was really truthful, really sincere, really genuine, and talked about how much it does mean to not really him. It does mean a lot to him, of course, but his family, his dad being a coach, his brothers being coaches. And he told a great story. Like on Saturday, he's in the middle of getting ready for Falcons week, and he's listening to his brother coach a Division III college football team. Like, I don't know what kind of radio reception, how do you even listen to Washington and Jefferson College while you're in Philadelphia? Like, I don't know what you need to be able to hear that, but he's got his way. He's listening to his brother's game, calling his dad, who's apparently at the game, talking through plays. I mean, this is coaching runs through the genes in the Sirianni family, and it does mean a lot to them. And I thought it was really refreshing, guys, that he would just give an honest, truthful answer. And that's what I've noticed out of Nick throughout since day one. Say what you will about him rambling. Say what you will about him saying too much. He's very genuine. And when he talks family, his eyes light up.
Yeah. Didn't Washington and Jefferson beat John Carroll in that game?
They sure did.
You know who went to John Carroll?
No.
London Fletcher.
Is that right?
What? Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. He's got to be the most accomplished former alum.
No question.
No question about that.
I think I want to say did Don Shula go there too?
Man.
Let me check.
Knowledge out of
you. Let me check.
Yeah, you got to hit.
Now he's just showing off, right, bro?
Go ahead, Barrett.
He's hitting that Google over there. But yeah, that's who Nick is, guys. He's that kind of. And I heard a couple people like on the Twitter on responding and saying, I hope he never changes. I hope that's the kind of guy he is. And I think at some point he will. He's going to have to lie to us at some point.
Yes. Yeah. Howie does all the lying for him.
Right.
That's his job. Yes.
No doubt. You raise your hand. You were right. Don Shula
went to John Carroll.
The late great Don Shula.
I don't know how I remember this meaningless stuff.
Bro, I don't understand.
I went to high school with a John Carroll.
You did?
Yeah. That's the only John Carroll I know.
Oh, man.
Well, you know what? I mean, you talking about sincerity, we thought, just because he's coming here and talking about all this, competitive nature and, always, attacking this and attacking that, attacking sleep, whatever. This is just who he is, and it really solidified me when Gardner Minshew said that he, during the recruiting process, he went to Indianapolis and played him in horse.
Yeah.
And it got so competitive, we're taking shirts off and everything else. That just goes to show this is generally who he is. So if he'd be anything different, it would be a lie. So as he goes forward, I can't see him being anything but who he is as he goes forward. So I see him as a guy that, all right, then at the very least, he's going to take it and wear his game on his sleeve and make sure that you're going to get the very best out of him. And that's all I can ask from a coach, man. That's all I can ask.
Yeah, and I think we appreciate that, right? We appreciate that certainly in the media because we want guys to give us like answers and expound on them. Like I was hoping he would go down that road with that answer yesterday because I was writing about it. If he would have given me a Belichick, it's not about me. I'm like, I got no lead quote for my story, but he helped me out. And here's the thing though. Sometimes we in the media, we want guys to be to be expansive in their answers, and then we start to nitpick what they say, right? I think that happened with Nick early on, his very first news conference. He was just giving us long answers and going on, and then everybody started nitpicking. Well, he says this, he answers this, he talks to it, and all that stuff. I mean, we can't have it both ways. And I appreciate a guy who, like you said, he's sincere, he's genuine, he wears his heart on his sleeve. And we'll see where at some point, I'm sure there's going to be injuries and he's not going to tell us, well, You can't tell us if so-and-so is going to play on a Sunday and day to day, and he may very well know he's out. But that's competitive advantage. And I understand when coaches withhold information for competitive advantage. In fact, if I were a fan, I wouldn't want my coach to tell the media certain things. I think sometimes they need to withhold for the betterment of their team.
No doubt about it. We're joined by Rob Maaddi. Follow him on Twitter at Rob Maaddi, of course, with the Associated Press. Great follow. What do you think his offense is going to look like? Because we saw so little, it was vanilla, no game planning in the preseason, no starters hardly at all. So there's so much that we don't know. What is your best guess as to what his offense might look like against Atlanta?
That's a great question, and Atlanta doesn't know what his offense is going to look like, and that's why
by design,
design. I think New England got a good look at it in not in the game, but in those practices, and the same thing with the Jets in the practices, but not in the game. And I think we're going to see what we know about Nick Sirianni, him being a creative guy, some with some movement, some concentration on running the football, some play action. I want to see him get Devontae Smith and Jalen Reagor involved early in the game. And that doesn't necessarily have to be a downfield pass. How about you get the ball in a guy like Jalen Reagor's hands on
jet sweep,
right? A bubble screen, something like that.
Tunnel screen.
Yeah. What we thought he would get or happen last year, and they didn't utilize him that way. And I think that can allow young players to really feel like, all right, hey, I belong. I'm here. I can go out there. I can do this right now. And as much as Devontae Smith accomplished last year, winning a Heisman and all those numbers and all the glory that he has achieved, I mean, he's got to have a little bit of butterflies going out there. So get him the ball early. I'm interested to see how he moves Jalen Hurts around. Does he move Jalen Hurts around in the pocket by design? Is he rolling him out? Is he doing things with Jalen that we wanted to see Doug do with Carson? Carson was so good outside the pocket, and for whatever reason, they turned him into a pocket passer with no offensive line to protect him. Well, what are they going to do with Jalen Hurts, and how's he going to utilize him? And the running back rotation, what's that going to look like? Are they going to count on Miles Sanders and give him the ball 15, 20 times? Or is Kenny Gainwell, who's got a ton of talent and ability, is he going to be able to get involved in the offense? And Boston Scott, I know it's not the New York Giants and he's a giant killer, but I think my man Boston can do something. So I'm excited to see what they can do offensively. And it is, I guess, a competitive advantage that the Falcons didn't get it. They don't see anything on film. They don't know what a Nick Sirianni offense looks like just yet.
Absolutely. So from this point on, are you a big fan of Jalen Hurts? Or are you, still, jury's still out on him? What do you think about him as a player?
I'm really excited to see what he can do, and I'm happy they're giving him the opportunity, Barrett. I thought from the minute they moved on from Carson that they needed to give Jalen an opportunity to prove that he could be QB1. I think the most important thing this year is finding out, is Jalen Hurts your quarterback of the future? That's what this season's all about. I don't have any visions or any illusions that they're going to make the playoffs. I think they can be competitive in a weak division, but if you can come out of this year and know for sure you have a franchise quarterback in Jalen, I think that's the bar is set low, but that's a pretty successful year if that's all you're getting out of it. And
right.
I'm happy that they've surrounded him with some talent. Devontae Smith, you still have Zach Ertz being back. One is a shocker, but two is going to help Jalen Hurts. So he's got some talent on offense. And if that line, the key is going to be that line. If that line is healthy and can perform up to their capabilities, I think we can see Jalen Hurts relax, get settled in, make better decisions with the football. He's learning on the fly. He only played 4 games last year. And I'm willing to bet on Jalen. I love all the intangibles. We all rave about the intangibles. I'm willing to bet on him that I think he can show some things this year. The fact that he's a dual threat in this kind of NFL now where that matters so much is going to be a big advantage for him. So if I had to say, will he be QB1 in 2022? I'm leaning towards it, guys. I got to see a full 17 games, but I'm leaning towards it, and obviously it's going to be a big year for him.
Now, obviously, everybody's saying the right things. Zach Ertz says he wants to be here, wants to retire here. He's put everything in the past. Are you buying that, and do you think he is here for the remainder of the season?
I know Zach's a forgiving guy. As a man of strong faith, I know he allows that to determine and just how he lives his life and the character that he brings to the table. And I know that Zach had been hurt by some of the things that happened behind the scenes. And we all know about him and Howie last year having a little bit of a disagreement that was well publicized on the field. And I do believe that Zach is able to put things in the past and forgive and move on. And he has always wanted to be here, guys. That's the thing that hurt him so much, is that he always wanted to be here and he just wanted to be treated fairly. Now, Mark Andrews gets this contract last night. And I know Mark Andrews is younger than Zach Ertz, and I know Mark Andrews has got certainly more time left in the NFL. But people talk about what that Mark Andrews contract is going to mean for Dallas Goedert. I say, you know what? That contract means a lot for Zach Ertz too, as well, because there's no reason to think a guy only 30. Let's not look at Zach Ertz and say he's already trending on the downward side of his career. Last year was a terrible year for everybody. We've seen tight ends, Tony Gonzalez, Jason Witten, Antonio Gates. Gronk is older and played deep into their 30s, not just mid-30s, deep into their 30s. There's no reason for me to think that Zach Ertz, who keeps himself in top physical condition, cannot be an excellent elite level tight end for 2, 3, 4 more years, for one more contract. So I think that contract Mark Andrews got yesterday from Baltimore is going to help Zach Ertz out a lot. And the Eagles are now in a situation where maybe they pick and choose. You can't afford 2 of these guys next year. And Dallas Goedert, we heard him say this yesterday, that he thought that he was going to be under contract by now, but the Eagles decided to go in a different way. That was very interesting to me. Very interesting to hear Dallas Goedert say that. And I think the Eagles are going to evaluate both of these guys. And depending on how they perform this year, one of them gets the contract. So I'm not ruling out Zach Ertz being here long term, which blows my mind, because 2 months ago, I would have never thought he's here now.
No question about that. I mean, at the end of the day, he didn't just lose all that skill set, all that skill in just 1 year. You know what I'm saying? So he still has the ability to go out there and have some productive, production in this offense. But, as far as play calling and all the different, different personnel packages this team has, they can really break out and they're just young enough to be like, all right, I'm not supposed to be this good, but I don't know that I'm not supposed to be this good, which will allow them to play at a higher level going into these games, man. So everybody else on the outside may be thinking something, but who they are and what they think of themselves may push them past the 7 wins people are saying they're going to win, or six and below they're going to win, man.
Yeah, I thought they were a 6 to 8 win team, and how the offensive line performs and how healthy they are, I think, is going to be the determining factor in those 2 wins. If those guys up front are like last year, in and out of the lineup, if there's no stability, if there's no chemistry, that's just gonna the whole offense is going to suffer because of that. And we know that. You know that as an offensive lineman, Barrett. As the O-line goes, the rest of the offense goes. And I think it's going to be important. Is Brandon Brooks going to be the player who he had been pre-injury? And that is one of the best, if not the best, right guards in the NFL. Lane Johnson, is he going to be back to all-pro level at right tackle? Does Jason Kelce have 1 more year? And then you look at the left side, and is Jordan Mailata really the solution? Is he really the answer? And I look at Isaac Seumalo as maybe holding that spot down until Landon Dickerson's ready to go. I think they invested in Landon Dickerson to be able to get him out on that field. But if those guys are healthy and out there, there's no reason why this offense cannot click and they can get to that 8 range or compete for 7, 8, 9. If they're in shambles, forget it. The season's going to be a struggle.
What's your take on their opponent this week? I mean, Matt Ryan, 36 years old, got some moved on from Julio Jones, some different weaponry. Their offensive line in the interior is not very good. Their defense has not been very good for years. What do you think they're up against this weekend?
I think it's certainly a winnable game for the Eagles, but you look at, it's a tough spot. You're on the road. It's a first game for Arthur Smith as a head coach. He wants to leave his imprint in Atlanta and show what he can do. And Matt Ryan is a veteran quarterback who last year, for all their struggles, they led the NFC in passing. And I know they don't have Julio Jones anymore, but Kyle Pitts to me he's probably my favorite player in the draft. I love what Kyle Pitts can do. I think he's going to have a tremendous season. He's really somebody who is such a hybrid tight end that it's hard to figure out how you're going to be able to match up with him.
Right.
He can go off, man. He can go off in game one of his NFL career. So yeah, the defense over there has been miserable for years in Atlanta, and they signed a lot of mid-level type free agents, veteran guys, Duron Harmon, some other players to upgrade, to bolster their secondary and their defense. But I don't think they're going to be this might be a game. I haven't even looked at the over under yet, but this might be surprisingly a game where you go over because you got a bad defense in Atlanta. You got two offenses that didn't show much, so the defense doesn't know what to expect. So basically, whatever I say, bet the opposite. So if I'm saying go over, and
Eytan already did bet the opposite.
Did he?
Yeah, he's on record with the under.
Right. Well, I mean, that's one thing about me. I look at the defense. I think the defense is upgraded from last year. I think they're better than last year, and I think the personnel that they have in the secondary will allow me to not take and eat so many Tums on third down. You know what I'm saying? I mean, my stomach used to roll every time third down, and I see them damn picket fences come out there. So they used to maximize the anger that I had for that picket fence type of defense. I like that they can go out and compete now. We have a legitimate number 1 and number 1A cornerback on the outside. So in saying that, this defense is definitely upgraded. Even at the linebacker position, they might be pretty good, better than what we think.
I do think that their defense certainly is improved, and it's going to be – and I like Jonathan Gannon as a defensive coordinator. I liked him from the get-go, and I heard him say, I don't have a scheme. I fit my players I scheme to the strengths of my players. That to me matters. And it's
absolutely
not, you know, Jim Schwartz was, hey, this is my scheme. This is what you guys have to do. Whether you fit or not, you have to do this. And that picket fence, as you alluded to, Barrett, was how many times did 3rd and 15 get converted on the Eagles? 3rd and 11, right. 3rd and 12, man. Those are get off the field downs. That's like a turnover, man. A 3rd and 15 get off the field. If you can't stop that team, that's terrible. And I think they're in better position to be able to do that this year with this defense. And their strengths are both the lines, the offensive line and the defensive line. And that defensive line, I'm excited to see Josh Sweat. Everybody raved about him in training camp. Can he take his game to another level? Guy we forget about, they brought in Ryan Kerrigan. He could still get after that quarterback. I believe that. And then Fletcher Cox in the middle, Javon Hargrave in the second year of his contract. And Brandon Graham is like, he don't age, man. Brandon Graham still got energy. He's still got that high motor. He's great in the huddle. So he's a team captain again. And he'll get after that quarterback, and he's coming off his first Pro Bowl season. So good for Brandon. I think that defensive line is going to be really solid. They're deep, and that's going to help out the secondary too as well.
One last quick one for Rob Motti before we get you out of here. Did anything from the college football weekend jump out at you?
The young kid McKenzie coming back with
Florida State.
Florida State, a devastating injury, and being able to walk again is a victory.
Yeah.
Be out on the football field, to come in the fourth quarter and lead your team to a touchdown and a comeback to tie the game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is like movie stuff.
It is
something they're going to be doing a movie about at some point. Disney's all over it, if not somebody else.
Now, will they change the ending and have Florida State win the game in the movie?
You got to make that. You got to make it. He'll lead them to a touchdown to win the game somehow at the end. But that to me, it's just in a world consumed with negativity, a feel-good story like that is something to really feel good about.
He was a stud at UCF, man.
Yeah,
I'll tell you.
I got to research what that injury was, because like it was that devastating to where his doctor said, hey, I've never seen anybody come back from this. Like, that's pretty
remarkable. Great stuff, Rob. We appreciate you jumping on, man.
Appreciate you, Rob.
Anytime, fellas. Have a good one.
All right, there he is. Give him a follow on Twitter. He's great. And don't forget, a subscriber to the JAKIB Media YouTube channel is going to win a pair of season tickets to the Eagles. All you got to be is subscribed. How about that? Now, one last thing here, Barrett. We've got a few minutes left. Did you see Sad news over the weekend. Michael Kenneth Williams, otherwise known as Omar, passed away at the young age of 54 over the weekend.
Yeah, man.
Dude, Chalky White from Boardwalk Empire. I mean, he's played some really cool, great characters.
The Wire. I mean, he
made
The
Wire to me.
No question. Yeah. No question. Yeah, man. It's something that that's becoming very, very bad. It's showing its rear ugly head again. Drug use. It's cocaine laced with fentanyl. Yeah, and it's killing people, man. And they said that the dealer that he got it from was a reliable dealer. I don't know how reliable a dealer can be. You know what I'm saying? But leave that stuff alone, man. Leave it alone, man. There's one of the great actors, in my lifetime. Really, really talented. He plays the best bad guy you could ever want.
Oh yeah.
A great bad guy, man. Just his expressions, not just what he said, but his expressions, his body movements. He owned those roles.
Yeah.
And now his
gone, eyes, man. Like he was like a real facial actor.
Exactly. Visually, man. He looked
and a great voice. Voice. Yeah.
So he looked imposing, sounded imposing. He's the epitome of a bad guy, man. And he's gone to us now, man. So this is a tough situation that a lot of people are dealing with, man.
Yeah, and he was even in the end an episode of The Sopranos.
Oh, was he?
He was a character called Ray Ray.
Wow.
Well, this is way back in 2001.
Wow.
And then The Wire was obviously 2002. Omar Little, that was just fantastic. And then Boardwalk Empire, Chalky White. Been a ton of movies. Yeah, I was stunned by that.
Me too,
I really was.
Me too. And it's like, and he wasn't the only one. There was a couple other ones that a couple other people like in California that died from the same stuff.
Is that right?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. He was in The Night Of too. Eytan and I watched that. That was like a mini series on HBO.
The Night Of?
Yeah, that was pretty good. When we were on 97.3, we watched it and talked about it.
Wow.
We
got to get back into watching our movies, man. So
yeah,
we got to get them back.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, we appreciate Rob Motti jumping on. Eytan will be back with us tomorrow at 11. He's got some duties that he's got to take care of here periodically, and he's going to have to leave the show early.
Yeah, we have
certain days.
Fred McCurry, former fullback, got drafted by the Eagles, same draft class as I was in.
Right, tomorrow, right?
Yep, he played with the Eagles, because he started out with me. He played for the Falcons, so he's going to give analysis of that. Won a Super Bowl actually with Tom Terrific also in New England. So
beautiful.
And played for the Chargers.
All right, so he's been around, seen a lot of different styles of offense. We'll look forward to talking football with him tomorrow. Was it 11:15 or 12:15?
12:15.
12:15. Okay.
Yep.
All right, we'll see you then. In the meantime, just subscribe and hit the like button for the middle, and just everything here on the JAKIB Media YouTube channel. Back tomorrow.
Yep.
Hey, Eagles fans, if you're a subscriber to the JAKIB Media YouTube channel, you are already registered to win a pair of season tickets for the upcoming season. That's right, you could win a pair of season tickets for the upcoming 2021 season just for being a subscriber. If you're watching and you're not a subscriber, do it now. Subscribe to the JAKIB Media YouTube channel right now. What do you need to do? Subscribe right now.
As a hard-working American, you've never experienced how tough life can be until now. A catastrophic injury while working on the job. A personal injury from someone else's negligence. Turned away by other law firms in the region who didn't bother to learn your story. It's time to meet the Fritz & Bianculli Law Firm and managing partner Brian Fritz. Badly injured? Call the Fritz & Bianculli Law Firm. Find out why they say, "We got this."
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 98, is a proud sponsor of The Labor Show with J. Doc and Krause every Saturday night from 6 to 8 p.m. IBEW Local 98's highly trained and superbly skilled electricians are the best in the business, setting the highest safety standards in the electrical industry. So when you're planning your next industrial, commercial, or residential project, choose an IBEW Local 98 union contractor. Learn more at ibew98.org.
The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull Beef Jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
I get scared sometimes.
Of a lot of things.
Joining in.
Decisions.
The dark.
The dark.
But I once heard someone say,
But as I always say,
it's okay to be afraid.
as long as you face the fear.
And keep moving forward.
Wherever you are in life, count on the name trusted in insurance for over 80 years. Independence Blue Cross.
On the field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.